Alright guys, so we're going to be going over XDTE, which is the S&P 500 0 days to expiry covered call strategy ETF. And this is one of my favorite high yielding ETFs on the market right now. It's by Roundtail ETFs and it currently pays 63% distribution rate and it's paid out every single week. So XDTE, why XDTE? So we have weekly distributions. So it's paying out every single week, which is pretty nice, and it gives you a nice dopamine seeing those paychecks come in. And this is really supposed to be supplemental to your income, and there's high income potential because it's seeking to generate income through a covered call strategy on the S&P 500. And how it does it is by selling 0 days to expiry options on the S&P 500 to capture the volatility. So this is a pretty interesting ETF. It's one of my favorite ones because, as we can see here on the stock chart, it's been pretty stable. So it does go up a little bit, go down a bit, but overall it's really stayed around this $50 price point. And this is pretty good when investing in high yielding funds such as XDTE, because you really want the stock price to stay pretty consistent. And as we can see, I have about 120 shares. It does say I'm down to about 2%, but total real returns I am up because it does pay out dividends. And as you can see, we do have a pending $44 payout from XDTE. And as we can see, comparing it to SPY, which is the S&P 500 index that it's writing these options on, if we take a look at the overall return, it is actually beating the market, beating SPY by over 1%, which is pretty interesting to see considering that the stock has been flat. But if you're consistently reinvesting the dividends, dripping it back into the fund itself, you're going to get higher paychecks every single week because you're going to be having more shares and more power for these dividends that roll in. So yeah, this is one of my favorite weekly funding ETFs. We also have XDTE, which is the same strategy, 0 days to expiry, but it's on the NASDAQ 100. And keep in mind that these strategies involve synthetic covered calls, so it's not actually owning any of the index, but it has a long call that it's holding, and then it sells short out of the money call options to generate that income every single day. And the nice thing is, as we mentioned, it is paid weekly. So you're pretty much getting a nice paycheck every single week. And just like XDTE, this one has been pretty stable. It's a little bit more volatile. And as you can see, it's down 12% max all time, which is why I favor XDTE. It's a little more stable. Even though you're not getting as much of a dividend as XDTE, we are looking for stable price action.